Okay, today we will talk about risk management. What is the purpose of risk management? Basically, we have to stop risky event to occur. Okay, you should be proactive, not reactive. Okay, it means the project. It is the responsibility of the project manager to prevent the event to occur. Okay, not reactive. That event has been occurred and you react. You make the strategy to handle it. Okay, so it should be proactive. So what is the risk? Risk is lack of knowledge about future events. Okay, we don't have knowledge about the future events, when the event will occur, risky event will occur. This is the risk. Okay, and if an event occurs and the output is favorable, okay, not all events are risky. If event is favorable, then it is called opportunity for us. Okay, we have to convert the risky events into opportunities also. So what is the risk then? If an event occurs and output is unfavorable, then we say that it is risky. It is a risk. Output is unfavorable. Then we have to plan risk. Okay, we have to make planning about the risk. Then we have to identify the risk. We have to analyze the risk. Okay, we have to analyze the risk. Then we have to, after the analysis, we develop risk handlers, and for the monitoring we track the changes in the risk. Okay, risk management is not a separate department. Okay, risk management is not a separate department, but it is included in the project's management processes, scope, cost, quality, time. Okay, so what are the risk inputs? Risk inputs are organizational process assets, environmental factors, project charter, very important, scope baseline. These are the inputs to risk. Network diagram, background information, project management plan, cost management, cost estimates, risk register, schedule plan, HR, risk management plan. Okay, then estimates about cost and time, and we have others. We have project goals to achieve. Okay, for example, we have a goal. Goal 1, we have to increase the sales. Okay, goal 2 is we have to provide quality product. So these are the two goals we have to achieve: to increase the sales and to provide quality product. What will we do? There is an uncertainty in the goals to achieve, right? We have to reduce the uncertainty. How much or less? Okay, the uncertainty in achieving the goals. This is called the probability, the degree of uncertainty. How much probability? Is it 90%, 80%? Okay, if probability of goal 1 is 0.404 and goal 2 is, that is quality, 0.40, then we have 10% more uncertainty. So process 2 or goal 2 is more risky. Okay, more risky, more uncertain, 10% more uncertain. We say that goal 2 is more risky than goal 1. Then we have event. What is an event? Basically, event has two parts: probability of occurrence. Okay, so how much probability that an event occurs? Okay, then an event occurs, what will be the effect? What will be the change? What will be the impact of occurrence? That event has been occurred, but what is the impact? This is the event, right? There are two parts. We have to consider the effect also. Okay, and we should put the results into lessons learned, documentations, previous experiences. Okay, basically risk is function of uncertainty, and an uncertain event occurs. Its effect, what is its effect? So we say that risk is function of uncertainty and its effect. We have to consider both. Okay, we have to find the cause also, cause of the risk. Okay, you are working on for example, you are working on an electricity in a project. If you have safeguards, for example gloves, okay, or other safety precautions, then you say that it is not risky. Okay, if you work without safeguard, without gloves, without other safeguard, then it is more risky. So risk cause is not using. What is the cause? An event occurs, for example, there is some event, some bad event, right? Then what is the cause? Cause in the electricity product would be proper, not using proper safeguards. Okay, so other example is, if you are using a software, working on a software, and you do not apply comments, you do not apply you do not select the right technology. Okay, you do not select the right technology, or your skill is not good, or you do not use the right tool. Okay, you do not use tool or the technology selection. For example, you are working on some website and you use legacy tools, old tools, deprecated tools for the design. You cannot compete in the market. Okay, and it should happen, maybe if there is wrong if there is some problem with your component design, then your component will maybe it will crash. Okay, during the execution. Okay, so we have hazard. If we say hazard is H and its safeguard is S, then we say that risk is function of hazard and safeguard. Okay, H and S. Safeguard means decrease in risk and hazard means increase in risk. If there is an increase in risk, that causes a safeguard, and if there is decrease in risk, we use safeguards to decrease the risk. Then we have explanation of risk. We have an event. So how to categorize an event? Event may be low risky, event may be moderate risky or high risky. Okay, we categorize the event, and then there is a loss attached with the event. Okay, loss means we have high or low probability. We calculate the probability. Low and high probability is the loss. Okay, what is the effect? How to calculate the effect? Effect of an event is, for example, we can say that if there is no effect, then no effect means minimum effect, and large impact means maximum. Okay, then comes the risk planning. Risk planning is make, document, find different methods, and what are the resources we require to execute those methods. Okay, so we make the strategies, we make the plan, we document it, and we find different methods and the resources available. So we make a strategy and document it, find methods to execute the strategy, and then what resources we require to execute the strategy, right? So these are the steps of risk planning. Then risk assessment. Risk assessment is during the problem definition. If your problem definition is wrong, you cannot assess the risk. This is risk assessment, right? So problem definition should be, if you have experience of the problems, then you can define the problems very well, right? And you can say that risk is moderate, low or high. Okay, you can judge. We identify the risk, then analyze it. Okay, first is identification and then analysis. We have to isolate the causes of risk. We have to find relationship among different risks. What are the relationships? One to one, one to many, many to many. What are the relationships? We have to calculate the probability of each risk, every issue. We take every issue and we calculate the probability. We have to find consequences of the also find the consequences. This is risk assessment. The risk assessment is a time consuming process because we have no quick solutions, and we use risk tools, but we should have experience of using those tools. Okay, tool is nothing if you cannot calculate, if you cannot use it. Okay, right use of tool is the effect of the tool. Okay, how to apply and interpret the results. Okay, then risk identification. We identify all risk issues. We conduct a survey program. We conduct a survey for customers, for users. Okay, we have to identify risk with cost, funding, time, relationship, political risk. So this is risk identification. Okay, then there are sources. We should check the sources. For example, if we have done the projects in the past, we use that experience. We have lessons learned. Okay, we have lessons learned, and what are the lessons learned? We document the lessons learned, and then we check the documentation. We have knowledge base, we have performance data, we have interviews from subject expert. Okay, so then we have to consider what we have to consider in the identification. First thing is WBS, lower levels, right? What are the WBS levels? We can use brainstorming, expert judgment, schedule analysis, cost estimates, requirements, trade studies. Okay, so life cycle cost, we can use life cycle cost analysis. So we can say that we have in the PMBOK, we have external risk, external unpredictable risk, and external predictable risk. We have to categorize it, and internal non-technical risk. Okay, so there are legal also, licenses, copyrights, failure to contract. Okay, then we analyze the risk. So analysis means detailed study of the risk issues. We take every issue and we try to solve it. Okay, we try to analyze it. We have comparison with similar systems. How to solve the issue? Compare with the similar system, study the lessons learned, and we should study the results of a prototype. We can get the data from the models, we can use simulations, we can have alternatives, expert judgment, etc. So there are external unpredictable risk and external predictable risk and internal legal risks, right? And in the analysis, we have detailed study of every risk issue, all the risk issues. We have to conduct basically in the analysis cost evaluation, schedule evaluation, and technical evaluation. Then we use different methods For example, we can use network analysis, we can use Monte Carlo analysis, simulation techniques, we use cost analysis, quantity impact analysis, probability analysis, graphical analysis, logic analysis, decision tree. We make the decision tree from left to right. We circle the goals, and we have on the arrows different amounts, and we can calculate the probability. Okay, where we can use Delphi techniques. So Monte Carlo and Delphi are used mostly. We have to categorize risk as high, moderate, or low. Okay, we have to. There are categories. For example, our risk is high or moderate or low. So this is the criteria. Then Monte Carlo processes identify the lowest WBS level for each probability function, develop estimates, develop probability distributions. Okay, so it is all maths involved. Okay, so fourth step is aggregate the WBS agreement. We have to we have to make the aggregation function. Then cumulative distribution function. We have to make the cumulative distribution. Then we have risk handling. How to handle the risk. Okay. So basically risk handling is identify the resources and ensure the administrative actions. So if you know what resources are used, then you can take administrative actions according to those resources. Okay. So we have identification of the resources, and you have to enforce the administrative actions to avoid the risk. This is the risk handling, right? Then we use risk retention, risk avoidance, risk control in the handling. For example, we can consider alternative design, we can design of experiments, we can use prototyping, parameter control boards, test, analyze, and fix. This is the method. Okay, in the risk control we have test, then analyze it, and then fix it, again fix it. Okay, so we can use mock-ups, we have inspections, walkthroughs, reusability of standards in the risk handling, right? Then there is risk transfer. Risk transfer means we have to transfer a risky event into an opportunity or positive outcome or favorable outcome. An unfavorable outcome, if you have experience, you can make an unfavorable outcome into a favorable outcome. Okay. So this is the experience of project manager. Then risk monitoring, we have effect of handling actions. So we handle the actions, we handle the basically what is the effect of handling. Okay, what are the resources? We have studied what are the resources and what are the actions, what are the handling actions, what are the administrative actions, what are the management actions, and we monitor the effect. Now we can use methods, different methods like earned value. Okay, earned value means cost and time, earned value. Then we can use measurements, program matrices, we can use schedule performance monitoring, we can use technical performance monitoring. So it is all about monitoring, means we have to increase the performance. Basically we have to take every issue and make corrective actions to prevent it. To prevent it is important. We have to prevent it, not react after the occurrence. This is the most important. One sentence: prevent the risk Okay, so it needs, you cannot prevent all the risks. You should have complete knowledge of a domain to prevent 100%, okay, 99.999% to prevent it. Okay, if there is an event, you can change it to opportunity. You have to change it to opportunity. These are the responsibilities of project manager. Okay, so this was introduction about risk management. This is, we will in the future videos we will do a complete analysis with the with some pictorial representation of different graphs, and we use different tools to how to use the tool, because a tool is nothing if you cannot use it, if you cannot interpret the results, if you cannot transfer, you do not know how to transfer input into outputs and what are the meaning of the outputs. Okay, so this was about risk management. Thank you very much.